right, so we're here with Fred on the Martin stand. Martin have so much new stuff.
I know, I've been busy boy.
Busy boy, and even I'm confused with how much new stuff there is, so we need to help their customers out.
Okay, we're going to help everybody out. We're going to make this really easy for everybody.
Let's do it.
So let's start on, let's call it a value price product, something that everyone can afford, or most everyone can afford, let's say that. We've redesigned our X Series guitars, so you know our high pressure laminate instruments. We've been building them for a long time out of Navajo, Mexico. And in all honesty, we felt like they were a little bit long in the tooth. We wanted to make some changes, wanted to freshen them up in a way, make them a little more exciting to look at, and definitely work on the playability of the guitars. We wanted to make it more playable. So now we're going to offer the instruments in some new patterns. So we have Cocobolo, Brazilian Rosewood, Zaracote. So
look at this one behind here,
This would be a good example. There's our Cocobolo pattern, as you can see. Something a little more exciting, a little more fun to look at. Definitely freshened it up quite a bit. We put a new rosette in the center. If you remember, the older rosette was sort of a heavy piece of faux pearl. All right. So we made it a little more refined. Looks a little nicer. We've changed the bridge, so it's a traditional Martin belly bridge, but in the SC style, so a little softer over the top. Right. You can see that. And one of the big changes we did for playability is we took the fingerboard specifications from one of our most expensive guitars, our Authentic series, and actually put it on the X series. So some people don't realize the Authentic fingerboard is actually thinner. Right. And that really helps us with the playability of the instrument. So when you play it now, it definitely feels a lot softer, a lot easier to play. Yeah, we really think it helped the way the guitar sound, get a little more meat behind it, and all in the neck and less in the fingerboard. And then we wanted to freshen up with some new tuning machines.
They look nice.
They look really good, right? A little more contemporary look. And I think the people who buy these kind of guitars would prefer something a little more contemporary. So once again, we have it in Cocobolo. You may want to grab that one right there. That's the Zaracote. And as you can see, there's a sunburst design on the front of that. And that's no upcharge, so that comes free of charge for the sunburst. Really, really cool. And then the one there is a Brazilian Rosewood in front of that. Yeah, it's the Brazilian. Really pretty. They jump off the wall a little bit more. Like I said, very affordable. The guitars with the wooden tops get the wood necks and the fingerboards, and the ones that have the HPL tops will have the Stradibon necks.
Right. Okay.
So we've redone the whole line that way, and I think that
gives them a real good, like a refresh and
a cooler vibe. A much cooler vibe. So you want to go look at the new Inception?
Yes, do it. So there's quite a lot of involved in the launch of this guitar as well. Quite a lot of excitement around
There was a lot. So in this particular case, the Inception is, we knew we wanted to do a domestic hardwood guitar. We wanted to kind of get away from some of the exotic hardwoods. Not get away from them, but they're getting expensive.
Embracing it a bit more.
We want to embrace it a little bit more, and they're definitely a little more on the eco side. A little easier for us in that sense. Now, this particular guitar is made out of maple. We've made a lot of maple guitars in the past, and maple's a fine tone wood, but it has its limitations. There's certain things that you can and can't do with it. It has a really strong fundamental note. It sounds kind of compressed. It decays really quickly, and some people really like that sound. But what most builders do is they tend to use maple on big guitars, and you think of like a J200. That's what everybody thinks. And that kind of hides and overcomes some of the limitations that you get out of the maple.
Of the body and the extra power.
Exactly. We wanted to make sure we did something that was a smaller body. We wanted to do a cutaway, something more singer-songwriter vibe to it. So when we applied our traditional Martin build recipe, it just was a little underwhelming. And so the concept here is essentially, if you're going to change a key ingredient like the back and sides, you're probably going to have to change the recipe. So that's what we did. So we wanted to lighten the braces up on the inside, so we did some weight relieving on the braces. And here's a great example. I pulled the top out for us, so we would have this to work with.
You can see these,
And you can see the weight relieving that we've done. We've done a hexagon pattern on the inside, like sort of a honeycomb. And in between the hexes, you can see there's a little X. So that's just us having a little bit of fun with the lasers. Right?
Oh, really?
The braces are traditional height. I know some people have, we're talking online that they were taller braces or something. That's not true. They're standard braces that we're doing. And what this does is, by lightening up the braces, it takes less energy for the top to react. And now it helps us sort of sweeten the tone that we're getting from the maple in the back. but we still weren't getting everything we wanted. So we added these tone channels around the top of the guitar. And you can see every single brace around every one, we added this little channel. And that channel, once again, allows the whole top to move like a speaker on top of a speaker cabinet. And now we were getting the sound that we wanted to get out of the instrument. We added a walnut bridge, walnut fingerboard, a walnut neck, and then we went with this 35 style wedge in the back, but it's not quite. We once again played with tradition. We curved the edges, kind of added a little bit of a bulge here to the back of it, and that widest point falls directly
underneath the bridge.
And that helped us once again add a little more nuanced tone into the instrument. Comes with an LR Bags pickup, walnut binding. We tried to avoid plastic wherever we could avoid the plastic. If you see the inlays, once again, we played with the hexagon motif on the inlays. A lot of fun.
So with the, can you still use a heavier gauge like a 13 on this?
Absolutely, yeah. We've done all the Instron testing, which is a way of testing how much pressure something can take. We haven't weakened the bracing at all.
I guess a guitar like this probably comes with 12s from the factory, does it?
Yeah, I think we're running 12s on now. This is our new Kovar string that we're trying here. We realized that when people get guitars, the first thing they do is what? Change the strings. So you can play whatever strings you want to play on it. We're not worried about it at all.
I just thought maybe with that,
tons of testing.
lightning on the bracing, you might have.
Well, that was the science behind it for us, was trying to figure out a way to lighten things up without losing any of the strength.
We don't get too many customers want to go from 12s to 13s on a guitar, like this kind of.
No.
Different on a Dreadnought maybe, but.
Correct. Yeah. For this kind of the person who's playing this kind of guitar and the music, you're probably going to play on it.
Yeah. I heard some clips yesterday of the plugged-in sound and everything. It sounded really lively, but quite sweet sounding as well. A lot of electroacoustics can always still have that harshness, but it sounded really rich.
Yeah, and the Bags pickup really helps with that. Plugged in, obviously, it's a really nice pickup, but the guitar overall, I think, performs really well. The strings, we kind of went with the Kovar string because when you're into phosphor bronze, it can get kind of bright. Right? And this sort of toned that down just a little bit. Once again, working against that maple, which can be kind of a bright.
Mellows it out a bit more.
Exactly. That's really what we were trying to do there. So, no, we're really happy with it. People seem to be really digging it. And,
it looks great. It's another one as well. When you see it in the flesh, you can really kind of appreciate what it's all about a lot more as well.
Correct.
Sitting now that you've pointed all these features out, you can see it all inside with the bracing and stuff, and it looks really sweet.
That's a good point. I wanted to put a lot of visual cues on the guitar from a design standpoint to let people know that this isn't. If you're a traditionalist, it's probably not the guitar for you. Right?
Do you do that already?
Right. You can buy triple O's and D's and all the stuff that we already buy. This is for a different customer. And if this kind of thing appeals to you, we wanted you to see that it was different. And when you compare it to other small-bodied maple guitars or non-traditional wood guitars, we wanted you to just kind of have a little more fun and see if it works for you in that particular way. Don't compare it to a D28. It's not that. You can't compare pickup trucks to Porsche 911s.
It's a great stage guitar as well, isn't it?
Right. And it's super light. I will say that using the walnut for the front blocks and rear blocks and those kinds of things, it really lightened the guitar up. It's a very, very light guitar.
Nice.
So if that appeals to you, I think that's really cool.
That's going to be a winner. You've got quite a few different like limited runs and special edition guitars.
You want to look at some?
Yeah.
All right, go to the back wall. So we have a couple of art guitars. As you know, Robert Getzel does something for us. He's Chris's cousin, Chris Martin's cousin. Incredible artist. These are all hand-painted guitars. All right, so these are sort of up for auction. We only make one of these and we sell it at the show. We're doing one with a sort of Mexican sugar skull and monarch butterfly design that he came up with. Really colorful, a lot of fun. These are meant to be really fun. Like I said, hand-painted, each single one. This one a koi fish. Certainly has a more Japanese look to it in this particular case. Nice. But they're really, really fun guitars, and if you're into collecting Martins and specialty Martins.
These are true one-offs, I guess.
True one-offs, all hand-painted. One guy did all these, so really neat. Beside it, we have...
My eye is drawn to this one.
Yes.
Straight away.
Go have fun. Pick it up. That is our 50th anniversary for Chris Martin's 50th anniversary of working at Martin Guitar. So he wanted to design a guitar that celebrated his 50th anniversary. And in this particular case, we're using a Pomeli Sapelli back and sides and a heavily bear clawed top, a lot of pearl, solid wood, all made in Mexico. He wanted to do this out of Mexico for fun. So this is a very, very high-end guitar out of our Mexico facility.
I was like, hey, this doesn't make any sense.
Yes, that's why the price is so much cheaper. So it's a $5,000 guitar. You get a lot of instrument for the money there. Wow. It would certainly cost a lot more money if it were made in the U.S. factory, for sure.
That is
beautiful, beautiful guitar. Yeah, really fun.
What a good thing to do as well, to do it, in the Mexican factory.
Yeah,
as well.
We had some of these tops down in Mexico that were just, when we send down piles of tops, they get some nice ones in there every now and then. They were just setting them aside. We said, well, let's use those tops.
Now, today's the right day.
Turned out great, right? So this is Keeler. We've done this before. This is sort of a precursor historic model to the Dreadnought. We made a small change. It came with the original bridge on this was kind of this big clunky bridge, and so we made a little change to the
Different
bridge.
neck shape. I remember the neck was really big on the
Yeah,
the
we
last one.
kind of a little more comfortable for people to play. It was kind of a bit of a turn-off for some people, I think. So we just made some modifications, some changes to it. Really cool guitar, big guitar. If you're looking for that big mahogany sound, there you go.
That's the one.
That's the one to go with right there.
Yeah, nice.
A lot of fun though. Now you see here we have the John Mayer models, 20th anniversary. I don't know if you guys...
We've had some of these, just not this one yet.
There's the 45, if you want to pick that up, feel free. So that's the John Mayer 45, all silver inlay, silver up and down the neck, up and down the peg head, all inlaid sterling silver. Really, really beautiful. Guatemalan rosewood, super pretty, 45 style. Cool guitar. I had the pleasure of working with John on this particular model.
We spoke a bit about this last year as well. It was quite a long process to get it.
It was. It was a lot of work, but I think we got it where we're happy with. I think some people were concerned with the color, but I think when you see it in person,
way better in the flesh,
it looks incredible. Yeah. It's a difficult color to photograph.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But a really, really, really pretty guitar.
Amazing.
Really nice. And I think we have one more new guitar. Oh, we have the Shark guitar. I forgot about this. This is the 20th Century Limited. It's based on a train that was called the 20th Century Limited. And if you look up in the headstock, you can see it's really the front of the train. There's the light coming out of it, the tracks, and the train's coming at you. It's a very Art Deco design that we have on this instrument. Once again, Guatemalan rosewood, maple binding, inlaid pickguard, liquid metal pins, a gold pearl that we used in and out. This is actually wood inlaid. It's wood called holly. And then we use a technique called sand shading, where you actually burn the wood using hot sand to shade and make it give it that effect. A lot of work. I tell you, my favorite part of this guitar, in all honesty, it's a really small detail. I really just like
break off,
that little break right in the center. I just think it's something nice. It's really hard to do, kind of showcase what you can do, but I just love that little touch.
Yeah, it's a really nice touch.
It is a nice touch in the back. Cool guitar. We're only making 20 of them. Comes with a watch also.
With a watch?
Yeah, a handmade watch. Really, really fun guitar. So 20 people will have the privilege of owning something like that for 20 grand. Last but not least, this is our SCs. We've been making the SCs since probably 2020 out of our Mexico factory. Those were layered wood products, right? Fine veneers in those particular cases. Last year we did a custom shop version. It's expensive, but we knew we had this coming for this year, which is we're finally going to put the SC into the standard line. We have an 18, 28 style, exactly what you'd think they would be. Rosewood with all the 28 appointments on the 28, and then mahogany.
Sweet there, that.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's actually the exposed front block that's on the inside.
Is it really?
Yes. So that's how that works in there. That's the only way we could make that work.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really cool. A lot of fun, and of course the mahogany version here for the 18.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been asking, are we ever going to do a solid wood version and we'll make it a little more affordable?
And this one's coming with a choice of bags or a Fishman, is that
Bags or Fishman.
Yeah.
We're leaving it up to you to sort of pick what you like.
Yeah, I think we've ordered them with bags in as well.
That's it.
We can get any of the stuff. So.
Correct.
Nice. Yeah, no,
really cool.
I think they're really good welcome additions, and it kind of adds some extra credibility to the rest of the SC guitars, doesn't it, now that it's part of this standard range. So yeah. Awesome. Well,
So
Fred, thank you as always for your time.
Always a pleasure.
We really appreciate it, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.